All right. As normal, if you have any issues or anything, feel free to just unmute yourself, wave your arms. I'm usually trying to watch you guys. If no one joins us, I won't have to click back and forth to see everyone. So hopefully if something happens, wave your arms, we'll get it figured out. I will say I was in a meeting, I think yesterday, it might have been Monday. My computer was having some issues. Apparently my voice kept cutting in and out. So if that happens, please let me know. I did do a restart and my computer did need an update, so I'm hoping that fixed it. But if that happens, I'll figure out maybe I can do it from my phone or something quick. From what I was talking, those first 10 minutes, it seemed like it worked. Mike can hopefully say my voice didn't go out. It didn't seem like it did. So we should be good. All right, I think everyone was here when I started talking, but we will need weights today. And then a chair if you want to just kind of, or as a different option, I'm trying to make things more accessible for everybody. But a chair is not required as we're going through this. So with that, it's really dark in my basement, I think because it's so dark outside. We will go ahead and get started with the warm-up. I'm gonna set a timer quickly. You guys know me, I talk a lot, so the timer keeps me on track. It doesn't make me talk too long. All right, there we go. So make sure you have lots of space beside you. I know some of you are working out together, so just make sure you don't hit each other. All right, first thing we're gonna do is just some nice arm circles. We've done them before. We'll start just going forward, nice and small. Just keep a nice controlled motion here. Remember, we get bigger kind of with every single arm circle until we do reach whatever the full range of motion is for you. And once you get to that full range of motion, just give me about 5 circles. And you can release out of that, shake out those arms if you need. We'll do the same thing, but of course backwards now. So once again, we're starting small. And then we're slowly building up to that full circle we can make. This is a nice warm up, of course, for the shoulders, but it's getting some of our arm muscles warmed up as well. Remember, once you get as big as you can, give me about 5. And then you can release out of that. Shake out those arms if you need. That's my quote, I think, just shake out your arms. All right, next thing, a little more shoulders. We're gonna do the arm flaps. That's where we open and then we close. That's how I picture it. As you come in, make sure you alternate which arm is on top. It's kind of natural, I think, to just alternate. After you just move on a few, if it feels good, maybe try and reach back farther and forward farther. But if that doesn't feel good, feel free to just stick with just moving your arms. All right, then you can release out of that. Same thing, but we're gonna go up and down. This one might be a little harder just depending on flexibility. So of course, just take it as you can. So we'll start just kind of our arms down, and then we'll just go up and down. Don't necessarily try to reach back as far as possible. We're just getting this plane kind of warmed up. If it feels good, you can make it more dynamic and kind of flow through it. Otherwise, just keep that nice reaching up and then reaching back movement. As always, whatever works for you. Remember, it's important to note what felt for you good or what felt good on Monday might not feel good today. So always take it day by day. You guys can relax out of that. Move my coffee cup so I can read. All right, this is a decently new one. I think I've done it in the clinic before, but not over the summer. It's kind of just called side-to-side chops. Try, if you can, to keep your hands together. You can clasp them. You can just kind of hold your hands together. And we're literally just going to twist side to side. Of course, if you have any core abdominal issues, just take it a little slower. So what you'll do is you'll just twist to the side. You can come back to the middle and then twist to the opposite side. If you feel good, you can kind of make it one fluid motion, so I'm not stopping in the middle. But if you need to stop, reset, and move, that is perfectly acceptable. Just kind of finding different ways to target the core. I'm trying not to do the same exact warm-up every day. All right, give me 2 more on each side at whatever pace you're going at. All right, when you get those, you can release out of that. Shake out your arms. Now, of course, we'll pick up the intensity just a little. We're going to do, I'll move my camera down. just some high knees and some butt kicks. So just for sake of everyone, we'll start just by marching. So get my whole body in. We'll start, you can kind of get your arms involved, why not? And then we'll slowly work until we have that high knee. If I'm from this side, you can see my legs are getting higher and higher until I reach that high knee, which is about parallel to the ground. If you're not quite parallel, that's okay. I like to put my hands out so I don't just kind of go back to marching. From here, if you want to make it high intensity, you can hop or just keep a nice march going. We're just warming up, whatever works for you. If you are marching, you can make it torso and twist just a little, but you do not have to. Just throwing out some options there for everyone. All right, about 10 more seconds of this. So if you want to change the pace at all, feel free to. In 3, 2, 1. You guys can release out of that. Trying to save the people who I saw went high intensity. All right, next thing is the same thing, but butt kicks. I know this one's a little weirder to kind of take slow, but we'll just kind of start by lifting our feet back up until we're kind of in that butt kick range of motion. Remember, your foot does not have to touch your glutes here. It's just until you reach that full flexion, where full flexion for me is right here. So from here, of course, if you want to speed it up, you can go into full butt kicks or keep a nice pace and just pick it up or slow it down if you need to. All right, we'll do it for about 10 more seconds. Remember to breathe as we're doing these movements. In 3, 2, 1. You can release out of that. Next one we're going to do is, it's kind of a groin stretch. It's kind of like a side lunge. I think I did it last week. We're just going to kind of step just a wide, not super wide or anything, and we're just going to lean to one side. With these, I usually would have you kind of walk down the gym. We've done it before. So we're just going to kind of do it in place here. I know we all don't have big rooms and fancy cameras, so you guys can all see me. All right, if you want to stand it up to the middle and then switch to the other side. So now I'm going to the left. With this movement, just an overview while we're stretching, my left knee is bent, but my right leg is straight, and I should feel it in my right leg. Remember, I like to kind of move a little, try to keep these dynamic stretches, so I'm not just holding it here. I just kind of bounce up and down a little. Pulse is a better word, maybe. All right, back to the middle. Let's hit that first side one more time. It'll be shorter, don't worry. All right, back to the middle, and then that second side one last time. All right, you can release out of that. Next one, we're gonna target our hamstrings a little. So we're gonna do what I call the sweeps. See if I can get my whole body in. Just kind of where we plant our leg and we go through it. I don't know if this is a sweeping motion, that's how I learned it. Remember, you don't have to bend that low, so even me, my foot's out just 6 inches. Bending here, which isn't that much, I'm feeling a nice stretch. And the sweep just kind of helps make it dynamic. So go at just a nice pace here, wherever you can get a nice stretch, taking it nice and slow if you need to. All right, just a little bit longer. Give me one more on each side at whatever pace you're going at. All right, next one, we're gonna pretend we have bands even though we don't. And it's still gonna work even without the bands. I'm talking about the little circle bands that we would put around our ankles, not the big ones you guys have. We're just gonna do some monster walk. So even if you can only take 2 steps forward, it'll work, don't worry. Your feet will be in about that squat stance, so they're gonna kind of be underneath my shoulders here. Pretend you're a football player, so I went from standing to my knees and my hips, just bend just a little. And I'm gonna monster walk, so I'm gonna look like a monster. I'm keeping my feet wide. I know you can't see them as I'm coming to the camera, but you can see that angle. I just took 2 steps forward each foot, now I'm gonna step backwards, same thing. Keeping my chest high. And then let's do that one more time in whatever space you're in. So taking a few steps forward and then backwards in that same path. All right, you can release out of that. If you do have one of those ankle bands where they're like a small circle, putting them around your knees or your ankles for that, that'll help work your leg muscles quite a bit more than no resistance. All right, last thing I've been preaching it to you guys, some good old ankle circles. So if you need to grab a chair to sit for them or your couch, that's fine. Or even just a chair for balance. Just give me some ankle circles. So we're gonna do about 5 each way. Remember, more important to get the full range of motion rather than just moving. Once you get 5, you can switch to the opposite way, which I've already switched. All right, then I'm switching to my opposite side. Remember, nothing too fancy about this movement, but a lot of hip and knee issues actually stem from the ankles. So I'm just trying to help get those ankles nice and warmed up before every workout. All right, and when you're done, that is almost exactly 10 minutes, so I'll log off now, right? We're done? Oh. My bad jokes, I know. You guys don't have to laugh. The next, I'm going to keep with that circuit thing just because I know Chris does something different, so it's nice and different for you guys. We're going to do a movement that I don't think I've done it before. I don't know if I've done it in the clinic, but it's really similar. I know I've done lateral raises and front raises. It's really similar. It's called a dumbbell scapation. You're just going in kind of a, it's called that because you're going in a certain plane here. It's really similar. You can do it with weight or without weight. I'm going to show it without weight first. So rather than this is a lateral raise, I'm going straight out from my body. Front raise, straight out. This one is going to be kind of in the middle of them. I'm going out and in. So I'm kind of making a V with my arms. I'm trying to see if I can show the angle. I'm just going to bend so you guys can see it. You can see I'm making a nice V, and I'm just staying in that plane. This is really good for shoulder health if you have any shoulder issues. Just make sure, when I do this one, if I'm doing a front raise, I keep my palms facing the ground. When I do this one, to make sure I don't fall into a front raise path, I keep my palms facing each other. And then I come out in a V and together. So this will be our first movement. We're going to do 8 of them. It's going to be a lot harder, in my opinion, than a front raise or a lateral raise. So maybe try a few, see if the weight is working. Remember, we're making a nice V with our body, or with our arms, not our body. So that'll be that first movement. We're going to do 8 of them. Yeah, we'll stick with 8. We might have to bring that number down. We'll see how we feel after the first time. Then we're going to pair it with just some squats. You can keep the weights or you can drop them, or if you didn't have them, you can pick them up. We'll just do 8 nice squats. We've done it every week. Remember, our feet are underneath our shoulders. Our butt goes back when we do it, just like this. Nothing too crazy. If you want, I don't think I've been saying this. I've been meaning to, but I always forget. You can do a sit to stand with a chair, so I'll just demo it. I think Chris has gone over it a lot. But if squatting isn't good or maybe your knees are hurting today, you can sit and stand. And that's going to be the same thing as a squat. It's just going to be a little easier. Maybe you're struggling with balance today or anything like that. I'll let you guys, of course, choose what you want to do. I'm just trying to give everyone plenty of options so that you guys are all getting the best workout you can for you. So it'll be 8 of each movement, remember. Make sure I get my head in it. 8 dumbbell scapation. We're making a V with our arms. If you need to drop the weight, feel free to. This is a harder movement than the other raises. And then 8 squats. You can hold the weights wherever you want. If you like that front rack position, feel free to do that. Or just let your arms kind of hang by your sides and do it. Or, of course, you can drop the weight. All right, how's everyone feeling? Ready for that first little round of it? I like it. Put the weight up. That means you're ready, right? All right. We'll go ahead and get started in about 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. We're doing 8 of those dumbbell skipations. So up, controlling it down is 1. Up, down is 2. There's 3. 4. We're halfway as we're getting a feel for it. 5. 6. 7. So 1 more. And 8. All right, get ready for that squat. Remember, we got a shoulder width stance, and we're squatting down and standing it up. Remember, whatever depth you want here. If you'd like to sit to a chair, that's no problem at all. And I'm at 4, so we've got 4 more. Down, there's 5. 6, remember we're keeping our chest nice and high. 7, and 8. All right, not too bad, hopefully. How was the skipation? Okay, it was definitely use a lighter weight than I think normally you would use. It's a little harder, but like I said, it's really good to help keep those shoulders nice and healthy. On these breaks, remember, grab some water. I know it's not super sunny the last few days, but staying nice and healthy through the summer. I know I could tell I was working out, and I usually work out in my garage, that like my body was getting used to the heat, which hopefully your guys is too, as we get kind of used to this good old Iowa weather. Alrighty, how was 8 dumbbell skipation? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Good from what I can see? All right. I could even feel my arms, and I'm using 5s right now, getting really tired. So if you need to drop that weight, feel free to. Or just do a few less reps as I'm demoing the 8. All right. With that, I talked long enough. That was a good break there. We can go ahead and get started with that second set. We'll do it 2 more times. So remember, through this, we've got good shoulders. So we're at a dinner table. We've got good posture. That's what I mean by good shoulders. All right, and we'll begin in 3, 2, 1. 8 dumbbell skipation, so up, controlling it down. Try not to go too much higher than our shoulders here. We're just going straight out and back down. And that's 3, 4, so now we're halfway through. Remember, keep those shoulders back. 5, and then down is 6. We've got 2 more of these. 7, and 8. All right, 8 squats. You might need to widen those feet to shoulder width. And then at whatever depth and pace you want to do, 8 of these. So down, standing it up all the way. That's 2. Remember, keep that chest high. I like to kind of look a little higher than me. Wherever my gaze go, my torso is actually going to follow. All right, that's 5. We've got 3 more. 6. And 7. And 8. Not too bad. All right, grab some water. Remember, I found if I drink water, I see more of you drink water, so we're all in this together. All right, we'll do that 1 more time. Then we'll move on to the second little circuit I've got. And from here on out, I think it's all movements we've done. So hopefully nothing too hard, except the core movements. Those are new, but they're standing, so we'll see how they go. All right, remember that active recovery I was talking about? I can feel my arms a little sore, so even just shaking them out just a little is going to help quite a bit. All right, it's been about a minute. So last set, everyone ready? Weights up if you are, or thumbs up. All righty, I'm glad to know my voice hasn't gone out. All right, this will be our last set. Remember, 8 dumbbell skipation. And then 8 squats. So everyone's got their weights ready. Shoulders are back. And in 3, 2, 1. We'll go ahead and get started. So up, controlling it down. That's 1. This is our last time doing it. Don't let that form break down. And there's 3. And 4. We're halfway. 5, I know it's getting hard trying to hold on to those weights if you've got them. 6, we've got 2 more of these. 7, and 8. I can feel my arms shaking a little. All right, widen that stance so they're shoulder width. 8 squats. And we're going down and standing it all the way up as 1. So squeezing our butt at the top, that completes the rep. And there's 3. If this feels easy, maybe try and go a little deeper or go a little faster. That's 5. I've got 3 more. 6, 7, and 8. And that is it for that one. Not too bad, hopefully. All right, grab some water. We'll take a slightly longer break here. For this next one, we will need weights. If you have a dumbbell, it kind of depends on the size of your dumbbell. You can kind of choose which one you want to do. Like I said, we've done these movements before, so you guys will hopefully remember what you did last time. Maybe you might try and make it a little harder if you're feeling good today. I'm going to start by going over the movements quickly. If you need to break a little longer, that's fine. Just kind of watch and listen. Don't do it. Or maybe just do it without a weight right now. Work on that active recovery. So what it is, it's going to be 10 of each of these movements. It's a high pull and then calf raises. So the high pull, what that is, you can kind of use one weight if you want. You can also do it with 2. It's really just whatever works for you. The high pull, we're coming, remember, high and outside. We all have different shoulder flexibility. I have a lot, so I might be able to go a little higher than you. Don't try to put your arms in a bad position just to get up as high as possible. The most important thing when you're doing these is don't go higher to where your elbows drop under your wrists. So I kind of want people to do that. I call that a T-Rex. That's a really bad position. Even me holding that for like 2 seconds, I could feel my wrist start to hurt. So just pull until, as long as your elbows are above your wrists, you're good. So that's a high pull. There it is with 1 weight. You can even do it with, or 2 weights. You can even do it with 1 weight, just depending on what's best for you. We'll just do 10 of these. It doesn't matter if you have 1 weight or 2 weights. We'll do 10 in a row. And then we'll do 10 calf raises. So we've done this before. It might have been, or it might be a few weeks since we've done them. Holding onto the weight, that's just going to add a little weight to what you've been doing. We'll just have our feet, and we'll come up and down. So from the side, the calf raise, because we're working on calf muscles, which are right here. You can hold onto a chair if needed. I know you guys can't see my hands, but I'm holding on to the top of my chair for balance. We're coming up and down. If these are easy, we're going to do 10 no matter what. You can do 5 on each leg. That's going to be harder because all of your body weight will be on 1 leg rather than 2. Of course, I'll let you choose what you want to do. Either way, we'll do 10. I'm just going to demo. You guys won't be able to see my feet, but you'll see my head popping up and down. 2-legged, 10 in a row. Remember, you can even have the weight for one of these movements and then drop it for the other if needed. Just do whatever is best for you today. Let me get my head in this one. I remember we'll do 10 of those high pulls. We're not starting yet. Just 10 of these, whether it's 1 weight or 2 weights or no weight, if that's how you're feeling today. And then we'll do 10 calf raises. So this is what I'll look like on camera as I'm doing them. You can see up, controlling it down, really important on calf raises because if we come up and just fall, we're not going to get much out of it. We want to come up, control it down. Remember, you can grab a chair, even put your hand on a wall beside you for balance if needed. All right, is everyone ready? Hopefully I gave enough break there. All right, grab the weights if you're choosing to use them. We'll get in your feet can kind of be in that. Remember last week I talked about wiping your feet on a doormat? That's kind of the stance we want for these high pulls. All right, we've got our feet in position, our weights whatever you have there in front of our body right now. Our shoulders are back, good posture. And in 3, 2, 1, we'll begin. So we're pulling up, controlling down, that's 1. 10 of these. Remember, we're keeping our elbows above our wrists. Up and down is 5. We are halfway through. 6, try not to let that chest fall. I'm keeping it nice and high this whole time. And there's 8, we've got 2 more. 9 and 10. All right, then 10 calf raises. Remember, put those weights down if you need them. We'll go up, controlling it down is 1. There's 2. Remember, if these are easy this time, maybe next time do 5 on each leg. All right, I'm at 5, so up. There's 6, up. 7, we've got 3 more. 8. There's 9, up. Control down is 10. All right, not too bad. Put those weights down if you need. From there, like I said, maybe you need to do one-legged calf raises or raise or lower the weight for the pulls. Pretty sure last time I did these, I did 1 weight because 2 weights was definitely much harder. Grab some water on this break. We're taking about a minute break in between each round with a little bit longer as we switch between circuits, between our different movements. Everyone feeling okay so far? We're about halfway through. Alrighty, I see a few more people joined us, so that's nice to see. All right, you want to grab that weight. I'm just going to use 1 this time. Remember, it's good to change if your body's not feeling the best about a certain movement or anything. If everyone's got their weight, they've got that nice power stance, wiping your feet on the doormat. And with that, we'll begin in 5 seconds with 10 high pulls in 3, 2, 1. So we're pulling up and down. There's 10 of these, keeping that chest nice and high. Remember, we're controlling it down. We're not letting gravity just pull it. All right, that's 5, so we have 5 more. Our elbows are staying high. There's 6, 7, we're going to 10, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now 10 calf raises. We're just going up and down. That's 1. Remember, more important even than the high pulls, to control these calf raises down. All right, that's 4. That's 5. If you're doing single leg, you'll want to switch now. 6, 7, we've got 3 more. 8, we go up. 9, up, and 10. Hopefully that's not feeling too bad for everyone. Feel my calves burning a little. All right, grab some water. We'll rest about another minute, and then 1 more time, and then we'll start that next circuit. Remember, if your heart rate gets up, try and take some nice deep breaths in between these sets. That's what the rest is for, bringing that heart rate back down, moving our arms to help release some of the fatigue, the tiredness in our muscles as well. All right, if you're feeling good, I challenge you to maybe try and make this set a little harder, whether that's add a few reps, then you going a little faster, of course, as well, or maybe switching those calf raises to single leg. But otherwise, go ahead, get in our starting position. Remember that nice power stance, our normal stance. My shoulders are back, and we will begin in 3, 2, 1. We're pulling up. Control down is 1. We're going all the way up to 10. And there's 3. Up. Control down is 4. There's 5. So we are halfway through with these. We're controlling them through the whole range of motion. We're at 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then 10 nice calf raises. You can put the weight down if you want. We'll go up. Down is 1. Up. 2. Remember, it's hard. Try and control it down, though. It's harder than it looks. All right, there's 5. 6. Even I'll feel myself kind of just falling down sometimes. All right, there's 8. 9. and 10. All right, that is it for that one. Grab some water. There wasn't an option there. I was just telling everyone to grab some water. Like I said, we will have one more after this. Then I do have a core movement. Of course, I'm keeping you guys on your toes, but it is a standing one. So we'll see how it goes. All right, again, these next movements we have done before, but might be, one of them is a little more intense, but I think I did it 2 weeks ago, I believe. I think Chris has done it a few times as well. So it's gonna be that whole body. It is slightly a core movement as well. It's gonna be the wood chopper. So remember, that's when we're overhead and we're coming down. This is a normal one. I'll try not to talk as long. I know I've introduced this a few times. If you don't want to involve the core as much, you won't bend down and you won't squat. So if you look at my shoulders here, and I'm not going down as far, this would be if you have some core issues. A normal one again is right now. So my shoulder is kind of coming closer to my knee. Of course, it's not touching it. And then of course, if you want to make it harder, go more into a squat. So a normal one, I'll do 2 of them. Here, I'm not really squatting. My butt is going back though. Versus if I'm squatting, you guys can see how much lower I went there. So there's kind of 3 variations. Of course, you can just kind of find one in between 2 if one's too easy but one's too hard or too intense today. I'm out of breath doing all 3 of them, so don't worry, they all will be a nice, good workout. It's gonna be 10 total. That's what I did last time, 5 each side. I would push you to kind of start with the side that feels worse. So for me, that's my left side. I am right-handed, but a lot of people that were right-handed last time I did this, they said the right side was actually harder. I say that so that you are working on keeping good form through this side that's harder. If you do that side last, you'll be more fatigued and you'll be more apt to just like have really bad form like that. So remember, we want to keep it nice and good. We want to protect our back and our core here. So that's why we want to have good form, especially through this movement the whole time. So we'll do 10 of those, 5 on each side, and then 10 good old chest press. So this is just a standing bench press. So we're coming here, we're just at our chest, we're pushing straight out. Remember, we want to push straight out, don't let it fall. Of course, don't push up either. We're just pushing straight out, bringing it back in. And then 10 of those. Hopefully everyone remembers those. They're a little harder, at least I think, than they look. As you're resisting gravity, it's really gonna work those triceps, the bottom of your arm. All right, how's everyone feeling? Feeling okay? Hopefully we're getting better at wood choppers. I know we've done them a couple of times now, so hopefully they're getting a little easier as well. All right, with that, we'll only do this one 2 times since it is a little bit more demanding, more intensity here. So for these, I kind of like my feet, not necessarily squat stance, but just a little bit narrower. So they're not underneath my hips, but they're not my shoulders. I'm just kind of a little bit between both of those. Of course, whatever is comfortable for you here. Remember, a whole 1 rep is up, down, up. That's a whole rep here. All right, I think that's all the cues I can think of. We will go ahead and get started. We'll do it in 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Get that weight up. We're doing 5 per side. Remember, going at whatever pace you like and whatever range of motion works for you. I'm at 3. And there's 4. And there's 5. So now I'm going to switch to the other side. So down, up is 1. There's 2. 3, 4, and 5. So now we're going to do 10 nice chest press. Out, back in is 1. There's 2, 3. We've got 10 of these. 4, 5. I'll pick up the pace a little because I know these hurt a little bit. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, a little more high intensity with that one. Everyone feeling okay? All righty. Definitely grab some water after that one. All right, take some nice deep breaths. I know my heart rate is up a little bit. Remember, of course, be safe on that wood chopper. We're doing one more of this, that's it, and then we'll go on to a core movement and then the cool down. Depending on how your first wood chopper felt, keep it the same, go up a little, go down a little. Remember, if you do have those core issues, don't bend as much, you'll just kind of move through it. So my shoulders aren't really moving versus the full movement, I am coming down. So of course, do what works best for you here. As normal, if you want to hang around after and be like, hey, this movement feels weird, I can help you as much as I can through the camera, or always shoot me an email. All right, ready for that last set, everyone? I love the weights work. All right, get your feet in your preferred position. Remember, yours might be different than the person next to you. If you are with someone, that is normal. Our shoulders are back, and we will start in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Get that weight up. 5 on each side. Down and up is 1. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to switch to the other side. 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, shake out those arms if you need. We've got 10 chest press. I'll go a little faster. I'll begin. Out and in is 1, because I know this one catches up fast. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're halfway. 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Hopefully your arms are burning a little bit after that one. Mine definitely is. All right, our last movement of the day is something called, and this is a trying, so bear with me. Let me know if you like it or you hate it. It is called knees to elbows. It's going to be a standing core movement. Exactly what it sounds like. We're going to stand. I'll try to get as much of my body in where you guys can still see me. You can put your hands behind your head, but don't like pull your head. My hands are literally just resting on my head. So they're just touching my head. What it is, knees to elbows. It's kind of like, this would be the lowest variation. So it's just like high knees. If I want to make it more intense, add just a little twist. Of course, this is balance here as well. And then if I'm super good, I can literally touch my knee to my, or my elbow to my knee. That's going to be the most intense though. If you do struggle with balance, I would say work on balance with this, because this is going to activate that core. Your hands don't necessarily have to touch your ears, but just keep your arms overhead and just work on switching side to side. I can feel my core working even though I'm not doing, let me do it right, even though I'm not doing this twist. Taking it nice and slow and keeping my hands overhead, I can feel my core. So that would be kind of the lowest step. And of course, if you do need a chair nearby or a wall and just like one hand overhead, that is perfectly fine. That's where I would like you to start if you do struggle with this movement. From there, of course, like I said, would be working on just a slight twist. So I'm not really doing too much. I'm moving my shoulder. You can see I'm just slightly twisting my core. And then once again, to make it more intense, just slowly work until you do actually touch. Of course, being safe. So there I touched, there I touched. But even me, that was pretty hard for me to touch. Doing 10 in a row, I don't know if I would actually get every single one to touch. Does that make sense to everyone? I tried to lay it out. Remember, starting, and this isn't necessarily going to be easy, but like level 1 would be kind of, try not to like grip the chair. Try to just put your hand on it. That's why I like a wall, because you can't grip a wall. And just work on one hand overhead and work on that balance. From there, 2 hands overhead. I'm just quickly going through all the way to our hardest. From there, a slight twist, opposite arm to opposite leg. until we twist a little bit more and more until I actually make contact. All the stages, we're gonna start, let's just do 8. We'll start with 8 reps, see where we go from there. With 8 reps, that's gonna be 4 each side. So it'd be like 1, 2, all the way up to 8. Everyone ready? All right, I'm going out on a limb with this one, so tell me if you like it or you hate it. I'm gonna move my chair so I don't hit it. Be aware of your surroundings. With that, we can get ready. My feet, oh, it got really dark there. There we go. Our feet are kind of just gonna be in like a walking stance, so that power stance. Bring your hands overhead. I'm not grabbing my head. My hands are just resting. My fingers are slightly behind my ears. And actually, we're gonna start with just 2 marches and then begin. So we'll start with march, march, and then 1, 2. Does that work for everyone? So I don't want anyone to like get off balance trying to do the first one. So 2 marches and then begin. All right, now we're in position. Our hands are behind our head. And we'll do the marches in 3, 2, 1. So march, march, and then begin. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, release out of that. We'll take a small break in between these so that we can hopefully build up. Hopefully that first set wasn't too hard on the core, but as we go through these quick, hopefully it kind of builds up. So we'll give it about 10 more seconds of rest. So get in that nice position. We got 5 seconds. Get your hands up. In 3, 2, 1. Remember, march, march, and then we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 2 more. 7, and 8. All right, you can release your arms out. We'll do it. We'll try and do it 2 more times. Remember, think about bracing your core through it. So pretend I'm there. I'm gonna punch you in the core. You're preparing for it. That's a brace. That'll help make it a little more hard and harder on the core. All right, 15 seconds. We'll begin that last one. We can start to get our feet ready. We've got 10 seconds. Remember, we're beginning with a march, march. All right, in 5, get our hands up. 3, 2, 1. We got to march, march, and then we're beginning. There's 1, 2, bracing our core. 3, 4, don't forget to breathe. 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. Hopefully you're starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it a little. We'll do it 1 more time. Shake out those arms if you need. Maybe your legs are getting a little tired. Just stay in one position. We will go. We'll give it 15 seconds just in case. Take some nice deep breaths in between these sets. In 10 seconds, our feet are ready. In 5, we're bringing our hands up. 3, 2, 1. We'll do a march, march, and then we're beginning. 8 of these. These are our last ones. I'm at 3, 4. Remember to breathe. 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is all I have for that. Next, we've got a cool down. We will grab some water right now as I'm talking as well. Take some deep breaths. We're gonna do this cool down. It's mostly it's all standing. You will need a chair, but you can also do the stretches on the ground. So if you don't like to get on the ground, I'll show you how to do it on a chair. After that, we'll be done. If anyone loved or hated the knees to elbows, let me know after the cool down. And then everyone can go on their merry way to, looks like it's not sunny out, at least where I am. So get as much cheer in your life as you can. All right. Hopefully I talked enough to help lower those heart rates. We're gonna lower them a little bit more. See if I can get, there we go. We're gonna start with just some nice breathing. Since we just did a lot of core and wood choppers, this is where we kind of bring our hands together. We breathe in as we go overhead. Hold it for a second if you wish, and then breathe out as you go down. Now give me 3 more at your own pace. Everyone has a different breath per minute. So you might be different than your neighbor. You also might be different than me. That is normal. Now I have 2 more. Also, my pace might be off because I'm talking through it, so I'm not actually breathing like I should be. So remember, I like to close my eyes when I do this, so I'm not worried about other people. All right, when you've done 3 after that, you guys can just stare at me and then I'll know you're done. We'll just wait for everyone to finish. All right, next one. We've done this quite a bit. We did a lot of shoulders today. So of course we're gonna stretch them out. We're gonna bring our hands together. We're gonna clasp them and then we're gonna push away. Remember with this one, you wanna think about not necessarily pushing my arms out as far as possible, but think about my back shoulder blades pulling apart. So I'm pulling apart my upper back here. Even to do this, my arms can be bent and I still feel in my upper back. So it's not necessarily about pushing out. Of course, if pushing out helps you, definitely do that. All right, 3, 2, 1. Can release out of that. Shake those arms out. Then we'll do the opposite. Again, we'll clasp our hands behind our back. We will open up our chest. From here, you can look up if you want, or keep your gaze neutral. You can also try and lift your arms higher up your back. Remember, we're just going for mild discomfort, no pain. So it shouldn't be comfortable, but it shouldn't hurt either. In 3, 2, 1. Release out of that. Shake out those arms. Next one, we won't hold it for as long. It's going to be the same thing, but overhead. I know you won't perfectly be able to see my hands. You don't have to actually clasp them, and they can just reach overhead. We're just gonna reach up. So just think about elongating your body, whether right now my hands aren't together, here they are together, just whatever works for you. Just think about reaching up to the sky. And kind of rotate side to side just a little. Don't worry, we have a core stretch coming up. All right, release out of that. Next one is that core stretch I just gave you a sneak peek of. We're just gonna do the nice little clock stretch. So that's where if you wanna put your hand on your hip, you can. And we'll just lean to one side. And if you like, you can put both hands overhead. It's really whatever works best for you. Remember, we're thinking about elongating those side muscles. All right, you can release out of that. Let's go to the opposite side. Remember, if you want to put 2 hands in the air, you can. It's just whatever is more comfortable for you. Take some nice deep breaths. Think about opening up that side. All right, release out of that. Let's go to that first side just for about 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Can release out of that. And then that second side just for about 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Can release out of that. All right, next one is just some neck stretches. So I think we did this last week as well. We'll start by just bringing our left ear to our left shoulder. So I'm going to lean towards it. From here, remember, if you want to grab your hand and pull, you can. You do not have to, though. You can kind of go up or down a little, see if you have a sticky spot. You can also hold a weight in that right hand, and it will help pull your arm down. I like to kind of just like rotate back and forth just a little to get the back and the front of my neck just a little bit. All right, 3, 2, 1. You can release out of that. We'll do the same thing, but on the opposite side. Again, I kind of recommend just starting here. Then when that feels good, you can maybe pull a little. You can pick up a weight with your opposite hand. You can bring your head forward and back a little, whatever works for you. All right, in 3, 2, 1. You can release out of that. Now, when we also did in the warm-up, we're going to do that side lunge. But of course, it's going to be a little more static. So make your feet just a little bit wider, and then remember, so right now my right leg is bent and my left leg is straight. I'll move my camera so you guys can see me. I'm just leaning towards it, a different angle. You can see this knee's bent, this leg is straight. I should be feeling it in the straight leg's inner thigh. I like to kind of just small pulse through it, so I kind of lean in as I breathe out and then come away. Of course, being safe, don't like try to touch the ground or anything. All right, you can stand up in the middle. I like to kind of pulse my knees a little, shake them out, and then switch to the other side. Same thing, go to mild discomfort. Don't necessarily like try to get as low as possible. It's not gonna help you. All right, stand it up. Let's hit that first side just for about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. To the middle, and then that second side for about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, you can stand it up. From here, if you want to get on the ground, we're going to do 3 more stretches, but I'm going to show how to do them standing. So it's going to be a hamstring stretch, an IT band stretch, so it's kind of that figure 4 one we do, of course on the ground, and then a child's pose. So as I'm talking, I'm just going to talk a little bit longer for those of you who want to get on the ground. Otherwise, have a chair nearby. Some of them will require a chair to make it a little easier for you. All right, hopefully I talked long enough there for everyone to get on the ground if they wanted. So the first one, for those of you on the ground, is just going to be a hamstring stretch. So you'll be sitting. It's where our feet are kind of spread, and you're going to lean towards one leg. For us standing, we can either do it completely standing, where we'll do those sweeps, but we'll hold it rather than switching. That would be kind of leaning towards the leg. Of course, this is going to be some balance. If you have something near, you can also put your foot up on it and stretch. Or, I've shown this one before, you can sit and lean towards that leg. Hopefully it looks like most people are in position needed. Remember, your leg does not have to be locked out on these stretches. Looks like most people are standing, so I'll also stand. All right, in 3, 2, 1, release out of that. Same thing on the other leg, wherever, whatever position you're in. So I'm going towards my left leg now. We didn't hold this quite as long for those people standing. Balance, of course, will start to become an issue. Make sure you're conscious of your surroundings. All right, you can release out of that. These next 2 movements, you will need a chair. Unless you're a yoga master, you can do it standing. Make sure I get most of my body in. So for those of you on the ground, I'll plop down. From here, it's when your left leg is straight, your right leg's coming over your body. You can hug your leg to your chest, or you can bring that left arm and do the twisty stretch. For those of you in the chair, you'll sit on a chair. If able, the best way will be where you sit kind of cross-legged, and same thing, you lean towards it. But I know that's not possible for everyone. If you can just get your foot in kind of this slight figure 4 position and just lean towards it, you'll hopefully feel it in your back a little and your leg. Of course, if you can pull, so right now I'm just pulling my knee and I'm not in a perfect figure 4, I still feel it in my side muscle. It's called my IT band, not actually a muscle. Take some nice deep breaths through this one. Whatever way you're doing, hopefully it's also stretching your lower back just a little bit. All right, you can release out of that. So now my right leg will be straight. I'm gonna bring my left leg over. As you can see, I'm showing the not perfect figure 4. From here, I'm gonna grab my knee and I'm gonna hug it to my chest. For those of you on the ground, you can plant your right arm and do the twist thing, or you can just hug that knee to your chest. Once again, feeling in your lower back probably a little. Also, that nice IT band on the outside of your leg, of your thigh specifically. All right, slowly release out of that. Next one is the child's pose. So for those of you on the ground, that's when we're going to get on our knees and we'll bring our head to the ground. I think everyone can see me. That's a child's pose on the ground. We've done it plenty of times. If you're on a chair, we're going to do a really similar thing. So for me, I can do it with my legs bent or straight. I'm going to do bent and I'm literally just leaning forward. I can let my hands fall if I have good balance, or I can, I'm not bent too far, I can feel it in my back. Come from the side.
Call from Sandra.
All right, members, take some nice deep breaths through this. Just hopefully opening up your lower back. If you are on the ground, maybe try and sit your butt back a little bit more. Inch your fingers forward just a little. If you're in the chair, lean forward a tiny bit more if it feels safe, if your balance is okay. All right, and you guys can slowly release out of that, being aware of your surroundings. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope everyone has a great Wednesday and a safe holiday weekend. I believe there's classes on Friday. I was never told differently, but I don't do the Friday classes, so I'm not entirely sure on that. If you do have any questions, email Chris or Amanda or ask me. I can reach out to one of them as well. Otherwise, my face is a little red. You guys worked me today. Have a wonderful week and weekend.
You too.
Out there.
You too. Bye-bye.